So somebody recently asked me a question, and they said that whenever they begin to study, whenever they sit down to study, all the bad things and all the failures in their life and all the bad things that they've done get in their brain, and they start thinking about those, and it's hard to focus on studying. And as crazy as that might sound, I think that's more common than not, because something very similar was happening to me. It was 2009, and I was training for the USA Memory Championship. And every time I would sit down to start practicing to memorize a deck of cards, or in the middle of memorizing a deck of cards, these negative thoughts were creeping into my mind. And the negative thoughts weren't anything related to memorizing a deck of cards. The negative thoughts were things I was worried about in my life. I had a family member at the time who was just in a terrible spot in their life. And I was thinking about that as I was memorizing. And so what I started to do to deal with that is, before I would sit down to memorize a deck of cards, I'd close my eyes and I would visualize this person, not as their life was right now, but how I wanted it to be in the future, how I visualized their perfect life to be. And what was happening is my anxiety and my cortisol is the stress hormone. When I was sitting down to study the deck of cards, my anxiety level was rising because I was thinking about this family member. But when I closed my eyes and visualized them in a positive way, and the way that I wanted them to be, I was calming myself down. And then when I focused on studying, I was able to study the cards really well and effectively. I ended up setting the record for the fastest to memorize a deck of cards back in 2009. So what I'm saying to you is this: when you sit down to study and you get everything out, and then all the negative stuff starts popping up in your mind, I don't think that's abnormal. And one of the reasons I don't think it's abnormal is probably it's in the back of your mind, your subconscious, all day long, but you're doing other stuff. You're going to school, you're driving, you're checking your social media, you're doing all this other stuff, so you're not really focused on it. But then when you sit down and everything's quiet and all the distractions are gone, then your brain has time to say, "Psst, hey, what about this? Hey, you're not distracted with anything else, so let's worry about this." So I think it's natural at that moment of ultimate quietness, of ultimate serenity, right before you're about to study, I think it is natural that your brain would start bringing up the things that you're worried about, or that you're concerned about, or that you're stressed about. But as natural as that is, let's push it back. And let's push it back by closing our eyes and visualizing the way that we want things to be, the way that we wish that they were. And then take a deep breath and open your eyes. Now, here's the thing. Your brain is smart and you're smart. You can't trick yourself. If things aren't really good, you're not going to trick yourself into believing that they're really good. But I think doing that visualization is a way to calm yourself down, but also realize, hey, this is possible. This is a possible solution, and let's deal with it later. But right now we need to focus on studying. But we're going to deal with that later. And also, you might ask yourself when those negative thoughts creep up, hey, is this really real? Is the threat really real? Is this in the past? Is it over? Is it done with? Is it something to move on with? Is there anything I can do by worrying about it? Close your eyes. See yourself happy. See yourself successful. And I think there's a lot of value to that. It certainly worked for me. Don't beat yourself up if those negative thoughts creep in at that time of quietness right before you study. I think it's going to happen. But don't let it overwhelm you. You got to study. You have to center yourself, and you have to focus yourself in that moment. My name's Ron White. I'm a two-time USA Memory Champion. If you would like my course on how to improve your memory, I actually have a course. It's called Black Belt Memory, and it teaches you how to remember names, numbers, study better, remember what you study. I think one reason, I'm going to be honest with you, I think one reason people get stressed and they start thinking about all the negative things when they're studying is because they're not confident that they're going to be able to remember what they're studying. When you have a memory system, it improves your confidence and makes studying more enjoyable. So click the link down below, check out my Black Belt Memory course, get the free gift at a minimum, and maybe at a maximum, join the Black Belt Memory Club. Get my course, get a certificate that you're a Black Belt in memory. It's kind of fun. Give me a like if you have ever tried to study and you've dealt with this. If you've ever sat down and tried to study and you've dealt with that negative thoughts, if that's ever happened to you, give me a like and comment down below and tell me how you dealt with it, or tell me your situation with that, and we'll see what we can do together talking about it. Also, we have a lot of videos here on this channel on learning and the brain and memory and everything else. I'd love for you to subscribe. 75% of the people who watch these videos are not subscribers, and then they go away and I never see them again. And that makes me sad. I'm here to learn. You're here to learn. Let's learn together. Subscribe.